Imagine you're on a ski trip and you witness an avalanche. That's exactly what happened to a lacrosse player from the Virginia Military Institute over the holidays. Tonight, WFXR sports reporter David de Guzman brings us the story of how Eric Gottman rushed to help the victims of a natural disaster one continent away.
For most of the year, you'll usually find Eric Gottman on a lacrosse field.
Just a great young man, super caring, very empathetic, high emotional intelligence. His teammates love him. He's not the most outspoken young man, very humble, but a competitor.
But in the winter, Eric trades in the lacrosse stick for ski poles.
Just like being outside in the winter is nice. Definitely the snow, like good snow is awesome. I mean, that was one of the big reasons why we're in Austria, is because the snow is so much better over there. And still being able to challenge myself, even though I've been skiing for so long, is pretty fun.
On Christmas Day, Eric Gottman was far from this lacrosse field, skiing with his two brothers and a family friend on a mountainside in Austria. They just happened to be taking pictures when his youngest brother, Hans, pointed to an avalanche.
I thought it was a joke at first, and I sort of tilted my head and I was like, no, he's being dead serious, there is an avalanche. So the first thing my brother and I did were take out our phones, and we both got videos of it.
Oh my God, oh my God.
That video ended up becoming vitally important for police and rescue personnel to determine how many people were trapped under the snow. And it didn't take long for Eric to jump into rescue mode himself.
We all collectively decided we got to go down and help those people, because obviously we didn't even know how severe it was even after it happened. And the first thing we saw were people looked pretty frantic. Some of them out of sorts, probably hit their head, or obviously something happened to them. One guy that was actually buried in the snow horizontally, with just his head sticking out of the snow. So
Eric, his friend, and his younger brothers ended up helping 10 individuals that were swept by the avalanche. 3 suffered minor injuries in what's being called a Christmas miracle in the Alps.
We obviously went up to them and asked them if everything was okay, and tried to help them find their skis, find their poles, dig, see if there were anyone else missing, and luckily there was no one else missing.
And it's a story that didn't get back to his head coach until after the new year.
Called Eric right away and was like, what happened over there? Like, one, skiing over winter break, that's hopefully we're safe and healthy, but two, well, take me through what's going on. And he explained the story, and such a humble man who never craves attention or anything like that. And here he is digging people out, going into something where there's an avalanche warning, and putting himself in harm's way to help save other people is just commendable.
The experience is one Eric will carry with him well beyond his time as a cadet.
I think it's definitely life-changing. It sort of makes you think that, like, you never know what's ahead of you. I mean, that could have easily been us in that avalanche, and luckily it wasn't, and obviously, luckily everyone was okay as well. And you can just always hope that you're not part of that, but you just realize that life is precious and you can't take it for granted.
Reporting in Lexington, David de Guzman, WFXR Sports.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah, really.
Life is precious,
Sure
and
is.
Well, those people are probably thankful he stepped in and helped them out.
Exactly. I used to live out in Colorado, and there were always reports of the avalanches that were taking place out there, and really it is extremely dangerous. And you have to get to them very, very quickly, and it's a harrowing experience. In that video, you can see the skiers skiing out in front of that avalanche, and boy, that was really impressive that he ran in and helped them out. And boy, it's a lucky and Christmas miracle, that's for sure.
Yep, absolutely wild story, absolutely wild video.
Yeah.
Thanks to David for that one.
Yeah, exactly.